A golden savanna stretches endlessly before you, silent and serene under the morning sun. The grass sways gently in the breeze, creating waves of amber light. Everything seems peaceful, tranquil even. But beneath this illusion of calm, a drama older than civilization itself is about to unfold. In the tall grass, barely visible, a lion crouches, muscles coiled like a spring. Just 30 yards away, a herd of impalas grazes, completely unaware that death is watching them with unblinking yellow eyes. In 3 seconds, one of them will die. In those same 3 seconds, an entire pride will live. This is not cruelty. This is the law. This is the savanna. The African savanna is not just a landscape. It's a living, breathing entity, a soul that pulses with the rhythm of 10,000 heartbeats. Every rustle of leaves carries a message. Every silence screams a warning. From the mighty Big Five to the smallest beetle crawling through elephant dung, every creature is a link in an unbroken chain of energy that has flowed for millions of years. The predator and the prey are not enemies. They are two sides of the same ancient coin, forever spinning through time, forever inseparable. Remove one, and the entire system collapses. This is the first truth of the savanna. Balance is not a choice. It's the only way. When dawn breaks across the plains, the theater of survival opens its curtains. The lion, that master of ambush, becomes one with the golden grass. His breathing slows, his heart steadies. He has learned from 1,000 hunts that patience is the difference between feast and famine. The impala herd moves closer, grazing, trusting in numbers, trusting in speed. Then, in an explosion of muscle and dust, the chase begins. Hooves thunder, bodies scatter, the weakest falls. In nature's economy, there is no room for mercy, only mathematics. One life ends, but 7 others in the pride will eat tonight. Cubs will grow strong. The cycle continues. This is not murder. This is transfer, the eternal movement of energy from one form to another. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is meaningless. Even in death, the impala serves the greater symphony. But the savanna is shaped by more than just teeth and claws. It's sculpted by those who seem gentle, those who eat only grass and leaves. Watch the great herds of wildebeest and zebras as they move across the plains like living carpets. They are not just eating, they are gardening. With every bite, they prune the grasslands, preventing any single species from dominating, creating space for diversity to flourish. And then there are the architects, the elephants, those gentle giants who carry the weight of the ecosystem on their massive shoulders. When an elephant pushes over a tree, most people see destruction. But look closer. Those fallen branches create clearings where sunlight can reach the forest floor. Seeds pass through their digestive systems, fertilized and ready, scattered across miles of terrain. Without elephants, the savanna would choke on its own success, becoming a dense forest where grassland species cannot survive. With elephants, the land breathes, it renews. It waits for the next generation to take its turn on this ancient stage. Following the paths carved by elephants and the rains they predict, over 1.5 million wildebeest begin the greatest migration on Earth. Imagine that number for a moment. 1,500,000 animals, all moving as one organism, driven by an instinct older than memory. The wildebeest migration is a paradox wrapped in dust and determination. Together, they are unstoppable, a river of flesh and horn that no predator can fully dam. But within the herd, peace is fragile. Males clash with shocking violence, their heads cracking together like thunder, fighting for dominance, for the right to lead, for the privilege of passing on their genes. Winners don't celebrate, losers don't mourn, both simply dissolve back into the endless march. The migration doesn't wait for individuals. It's a force of nature that will not stop. Those who fall behind become lessons for those who follow. Keep moving or become the Savanna's next meal. Now let's shift continents. Deep in the emerald maze of the Amazon, another predator hunts. But this one doesn't prowl the grasslands, it rules the rivers. The giant river otter, known to locals as the wolf of the water, is not the playful creature you might imagine from zoo visits. This is a tactical genius, a pack hunter with razor-sharp teeth and a fearless heart. A single otter is formidable, a group is nearly invincible. Watch them work together against a school of fish, coordinating their movements with military precision, cutting off escape routes, herding their prey into tighter and tighter circles until there's nowhere left to run. They've been known to face down caimans, those armored reptiles that terrify most creatures. But the otter knows something vital. Unity multiplies strength. During the dry season, when rivers shrink and food becomes scarce, the pack's bond is tested. The weak might not survive. But when the rains return and it's time to reproduce, the entire group becomes guardians of the next generation. Every adult, whether parent or not, protects the young with equal ferocity. The otter teaches us that family isn't just about blood. It's about commitment to something larger than yourself. If these animals disappeared, the Amazon's rivers would fall silent. The ancestral symphony would end. Back in Africa, meet Kibo. He's an ostrich, a bird who made a choice millions of years ago. His ancestors traded the sky for the earth, wings for legs, and in doing so, became something extraordinary. Kibo is a survival machine engineered by evolution itself. Those massive eyes can spot a lion from 2 miles away. Those powerful legs can run at speeds exceeding 40 miles per hour for extended distances. And those feet, tipped with claws like daggers, can deliver a kick strong enough to kill a full-grown leopard. Kibo seems invincible, but the Savanna always finds a way to humble even the mightiest. When cheetahs strike at his family, the chase is devastating. The female, his mate, falls. Now Kibo faces a choice that would break most creatures: give up or continue. He chooses the harder path. Alone, he raises the chicks, teaching them to forage, to hide, to run. His true strength isn't in his speed or his kick. It's in his refusal to quit, in his resilience, in his understanding that survival isn't about avoiding tragedy, it's about standing up after tragedy strikes you down. In the scorched heart of the Namib Desert, where temperatures soar beyond human endurance and sandstorms can strip flesh from bone, one creature thrives. The oryx, with its spear-like horns that inspired legends of unicorns, is the living embodiment of adaptation. Those horns aren't just for show. In brutal territorial battles, male oryx fence with a precision that would impress any swordsman, their weapons capable of piercing through muscle and bone. The loser of these duels faces exile, wandering alone in the merciless desert, where solitude is often a death sentence. But the winner and his herd have learned secrets that most animals never discover. They've mastered the art of extracting moisture from plants that seem bone dry. They can detect water sources miles away. They've synchronized their lives to the desert's cruel rhythms, understanding that here, life and death are separated by the thickness of a shadow, by a single degree of temperature. The oryx doesn't just survive the desert. It becomes the desert, patient, harsh, and absolutely unyielding. Rising above the acacia trees like towers supporting the sky itself, giraffes move through the savanna with an elegance that seems almost supernatural. But beneath that grace lies engineering that defies logic. That heart must pump blood up an 8-foot neck against gravity, with such force that special valves prevent their brains from exploding when they lower their heads to drink. Those necks, made of the same 7 vertebrae you and I have, only massively enlarged, become weapons in combat, swung like medieval maces with bone-crushing force. Yet for all their height, for all their power, giraffes are vulnerable in one terrible moment. When they spread their legs wide to reach water, they become easy targets. Lions know this. So giraffes have developed something that transcends physical strength: collective vigilance. While some drink, others watch.
True vision is seeing beyond the horizon.
They've learned that survival isn't about being the biggest or the strongest. It's about seeing danger before danger sees you. Their lesson to us is profound. If you want to survive, you must develop vision that extends beyond your immediate horizon. You must see not just what is, but what could be. In the ancient forests of Southeast Asia, a bird with a bizarre helmet-like casque on its beak moves through the canopy. The hornbill is more than just another pretty face in the jungle. It's a gardener of the skis, spreading seeds across vast distances, regenerating forests with every flight. But the hornbill's most remarkable feature isn't biological. It's behavioral. When it's time to nest, the female makes a choice that seems insane by human standards.
Hornbill,
she seals herself inside a tree cavity, leaving only a tiny slit through which her mate must pass food. For months, she's completely dependent on him, vulnerable, trusting her life and the lives of their chicks to his faithfulness. And he never fails. Day after day, he brings food, protecting his imprisoned family from predators, from starvation, from the world's cruelty. This is not just partnership. This is a covenant, a bond so deep that betrayal is literally unthinkable. Tragically, these magnificent birds now face a new predator. Humans, who prize their casques as ivory, are driving them toward extinction. If we lose the hornbill, we lose more than a species. We lose a living example of loyalty, of trust, of commitment that puts most human relationships to shame.
Magnificent bird facing an uncertain future.
So what can we learn from these stories? What wisdom can we extract from the savanna, the desert, the river, and the forest? The first lesson is this: life is not fair, but it is balanced. The impala doesn't deserve to die any more than the lion deserves to starve. Both are playing roles in a system far larger than individual justice. The second lesson is adaptation. The ostrich gave up flight and survived. The oryx mastered the desert and thrived. The hornbill created an impossible bond and flourished. When your environment changes, you have two choices: adapt or perish. There is no third option. The third lesson is about community. The otters hunt together, the elephants shape the land together, the giraffes watch together, lone wolves might get the poetry, but it's the pack that gets the prey. And finally, resilience. Kibo lost his mate but raised his young. The wildebeest that stumbles gets up or gets left behind. Pain is inevitable. Giving up is optional. Think about your own life for a moment. When was the last time you faced a predator, metaphorical though it may be, a challenge that seemed insurmountable, a loss that seemed unbearable? Did you lie down or did you stand up? Did you adapt or did you complain? The animals we've journeyed with today don't have the luxury of complaints. They don't have the option of giving up. They simply do what must be done again and again until they can't anymore. And in that simplicity, there's a profound beauty. Here's my question for you, and I really want you to think about this. If you could adopt one trait from any animal we discussed today, which would it be and why? Would it be the lion's patience, the elephant's ability to transform destruction into renewal, the otter's fierce loyalty to family, the ostrich's resilience, the oryx's adaptation to harsh conditions, the giraffe's far-seeing vision, or the hornbill's unwavering commitment? Leave your answer in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to see which lesson resonates most deeply with you. As we close this journey across continents and ecosystems, I want to leave you with one final thought. Nature doesn't promise happiness. It doesn't guarantee success. What it offers instead is something more valuable. The opportunity to participate in something eternal, something that was here long before we arrived and will continue long after we're gone. Every animal we've met today understands this instinctively. They don't fight for comfort. They fight for continuation. And in that fight, they find their purpose. I hope these stories inspire you the way they've inspired me. I hope they remind you that you're stronger than you think, more adaptable than you believe, and more connected to the natural world than modern life allows you to remember. May you find your own savanna, your own river, your own sky to soar beneath. May you discover your pack, your herd, your pride. And may you never forget that in the grand theater of existence, you're not just an audience member. You're a performer in the greatest show on earth. Thank you for taking this journey with me today. I wish you health, strength, and the courage to face whatever predators lurk in your grass. If this video made you think, made you feel, or made you see the world a little differently, please subscribe to the channel. There are so many more stories to tell, so many more lessons to learn. Until next time.